I had somebody comment that I was only firing snap caps out of the muzzle loader revolver. There's no way that it had that little recoil. Well, we were only shooting 24 grain of gunpowder. So what we're gonna do is another test. Let me show you here. So what we've got now is we've got 25, 30, 35, and 40 grain. These are basically just loading tips that go on the end of this here to load the gunpowder into each chamber of the revolver. We're gonna give that a shot, see if that works any better. And yes, as in the last video, you will still hear the plates ringing when we shoot. Stay tuned. All right, so we're back at the Infant Outpost, and I posted a short a little while back about a 1847 Colt Walker, or Colt Walker 1847, however you want to say it. And I got a question about whether I was shooting snap caps. Well, I actually have percussion caps. Number 10 Remington percussion caps that we're using, but we are shooting 44 cal balls and using wadding, getting our gunpowder in. So what we'd done before is we shot a really light load, only 24 grains, and the reason was it's an old gun and we didn't really have a whole lot of experience with it, and we were trying to keep the load light in case it decided to explode in my face, which I prefer to not have happen. So what we've done now is we've swapped out the 24 grain and we put a 40 grain in the little powder well here. So what we're trying to do, let's see, right there's our little 40 grain. And here's the difference. 24 grain, very narrow, a lot less powder. So what we're going to do is we're going to show the loading process for this. I am not an expert at this. I'm actually working with Random Thought Machine. Tom's here to help me out, and it's his pistol. So what we're going to do is we're going to work with him and we're going to go through the loading process. So if you hear somebody behind the camera saying, don't do that or do this, it's Tom helping me out with his pistol. I thought it was a cool pistol. I wanted to play with it. I say pistol, it's a revolver. I wanted to play with it. I thought it would be kind of fun. So here we go. What we're going to start with, and we're going to do 3 loads of 40 grains of powder. We're going to do the wadding and the ball, and then we're going to do a little bit of cleaning up as we go. So you don't want gunpowder to be on the tops here because you don't want crossover explosion while you're shooting and something to shoot out the side. That would be very detrimental to your hands and fingers and everything else that we're doing here. So we're going to go kind of through this process. So the first step of the process is loading the powder into this little set right here. So what we're doing is we're going to release it. I'm going to hold my finger over it. I'm going to turn it upside down, and the powder kind of falls into that well. So what I do here is I release. Now I'm going to do it again just to make sure I got my 40 grains in there. Do it again real quick, and we're good to go. So now I bring the pistol up. I did forget a step, and we're going to go through this. It's a good thing I did this. This will remind everybody else. I'm going to load all the powder back into the little holster here. We're going to half cock this. That way, because right now I can't rotate this cylinder. What I need to do is I need to half cock this, right like that. Then the cylinder spins freely. Now I can load each of the little cylinders. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back again and get our powder. There we go. Now we got our 40 grains of powder, 40 grain of powder in there. So what we're going to do, we're going to get, I'm going to set this down real easily. Make sure none of the powder seeps out of there. I didn't get this set beforehand. We're going to get our wadding, and we're going to get our ball. Okay, so now we're going to set the wadding in. Just kind of get it in there, just a little bit there. You see that? Now I've got this ball. We're going to put the ball right in there and push it in just a little bit. Now I'm not going to be able to push that in by hand. And that's the point of this piece right here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to turn this into the side there, and we're going to press that ball down. Now, that has a little release there, and what you do is you just follow it all the way to the bottom. And that's as far as that goes down. Boom. That's one round loaded into the Colt Walker 1847. Okay, so now we're going to load the snap caps for these things. I've got 3 of them set aside because this is kind of the part where it gets dangerous if you're not paying attention. You hit one of these snap caps while it's in there, you could possibly have the revolver go off on you. So I'm going to half cock it again. I'm going to bring this in. We fired a test load because we were not sure how it was going to work with the 40 grain. So we fired one off of a rest little thing we built, make sure it was going to fire and it wasn't going to blow up in our hands.
3, 2, 1.
So I'm going to move past that one and I'm going to put a cap in. And the cap is on. I'm going to make sure it's on there. There you go. Cap is on. Going to move to the next one. Going to go good and slow. So, there's two. Take the third. Get it in here. We now have 3 caps loaded and ready to go. Going to give us a couple shots downrange, see what 40 grains does versus the 24 grains we did last time.
Go ahead and go to full cock.
I am full cock.
Go.
Very nice.
So there you go.
So this is the Colt Walker 1847 35 grain.
Go. Jump. Colt Walker 30 grain. Yep.
Yep.
All right.
The Colt with 25 grains of gunpowder this time.
25 grain, okay. 3, 2, 1.
So after a day of shooting wound up, we came up with some numbers for the different loads on the Colt Walker. When it was 40 grains, we ended up with 966 feet per second being the average. When it was 35 grains, we ended up with 729 feet per second. When it was 30 grains, we had 668 feet per second. At 25 grains, we had 510 feet per second. Hope this information is good for you. Hope you enjoy watching videos like this. We enjoy making them. Please like and subscribe. Come back and see us again soon.